what would an actor need to do right now for you to be like, right, I am signing you today? Welcome everybody to episode 44 of WatchRoss, the one where we're in Media City to see a guy who's going to tell us how to get an agent. Have a good day, cheers, thank you. Boom, got a permit again, got to renew that every 6 months, otherwise you ain't filming anything today, Petch. Right, to the Blue Tower. Oh. Guy, good morning, it's Ross, how are you doing?
Hello mate, I'm good, are you?
Very, very well. I'm just in the windiest part of Media City going, just outside the landing, so just up from the Blue Tower.
I'm coming down now mate, I'll be with you in 2 minutes.
Fantastic, I'll see you shortly.
See you buddy,
see you
bye bye.
Boom. Very well. We've got, we're vlogging as well, Guy. Not only podcasting, we're vlogging. So the whole pun about we're going to see a guy who's going to show us how to get an agent is because Guy Howe, WGM Talent, is in the house. We're going to go and get a brew in Social 7, yeah?
Perfect, sounds good.
And then you're going to tell us all about basically how everyone watching can get an amazing agent like yourself.
Not a problem, here to help.
Let's go. Alright, Betch, what are you doing here? How does he always get up before us? Right. So we're in Social 7, massive shout out to the boys and girls at Social 7. Thank you so much for letting us use this space. We've been put in the boardroom because all the other spaces are taken. ICV are in here today, Corrie are in here, The Voice are taking over this ginema, so we can't be in the ginema. We've been told we've got an hour to get in here and get out before Corrie or someone else turns up. So Guy, we're going to crack on with the podcast. You lot are going to listen to little sections of this. Now Petch is going to edit those in. If you want to listen to the whole thing, you've got to go to actonthis.tv. It's going to be available. By the time this vlog goes out, it will be on the website, actonthis.tv. It's going to be incredible, incredible podcast all about how you can land yourself a great agent. Guy, you ready?
I certainly am.
Bosh!
Well, do you know what? I think originally I was a really bad child actor. That's how I first got my first taste.
Right.
I was crap. I mean, that's the truth. I got slated in the papers. So instantly I kind of knew this.
What were you doing to get in the papers though?
Well, if that was a play, ironically, that was a play. So God help my TV acting. I was poor. So anyway, so moving swiftly on. Eventually went to law school in Sheffield to study law, and then whilst it was great, it was a little too black and white for me, and I think I'd still got that creative side in me, so I thought, you know what, I went to spend a bit of time with my mum's business, which at the time was just an extras agency, which again is has served its purpose, which was fine, and then eventually, do you know what, I got kind of no creative stimulation from that, so from that point I thought, do you know what, I've always got that passion for the arts and I can use my legal background, so why not just do it myself? And I did look at applications for some of the big boys in London and what have you, but I thought, you know what, why let someone else create your destiny? I was like, I'm going to do it my own way.
This.
Yeah. So it's and then I thought, I can create my own day's plan and how I want it to look. And it's not to slam some of the agents in the north, because there's some great agents in the north and some really good talent, but I thought everything was a little bit safe at the time when I was originally trying to start
Completely
WGM.
agree with you.
So I thought, you know what, it needs a bit of va-va-voom and a bit of risk taking, and because being honest, I had to start very much from scratch, so it was literally a case of buying books, reading what some of the great managers in America have done and over here. and kind of formulating my plan from there and working out, well, listen, in 3 years, 4 years, this is what I need to do. Then mapping out essentially how to get there. And almost mathematically like ticking off, like, this is what I need to do to get there. And, you know, I mean, at the start, it was really tough. So, I mean, there were many weeks, you know, where literally, you know, there was no food because, yeah, which is crazy. And you're like, do you know what? I think that's kind of the hardest part. I think for actors as well. It's that first period, especially hanging in there, because I think many people, and so, you know, I think some people are built to continue and go through these things, and some people, understandably, they may have an easier option and go to it. So I think you've just got to, you know, crack on and stick with it. And I did, which is good. So
you have cracked on. Because so when was WGM formed initially?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
So you're 4 years in now.
Yeah,
and how would you sum the journey up so far before we get into the nitty gritty?
It's been great, you know, and I think the great thing is because it's so subjective, you have no idea what's going to happen, which is cool and not so cool at the same time. So I think you're very much influenced by what you watch and how you are as a person. So if I'm just watching, you know, Netflix, HBO, whatever all the time, I may not be able to spot a great person for a soap. So, you know, I think I've had to diversify myself.
Which
very
is
interesting.
Quite important,
you know,
I never
and
thought
not,
of it like that.
You know, our number one kind of rule is don't be self-absorbed, you know, as an agent, as a person, because I think you get a lot of agents, or understandably, you've got to have a vision for an actor when you sign them and what they can do. However, I'm not casting, okay? And often, being honest, sometimes I'll be watching TV and I'll watch someone on screen and thought, God, they're crap. But someone out there thinks, hey, this guy or girl is it. So I think, you know, we have to get into the casting director's mind each casting and think, well, what do they want? Because ultimately what I want doesn't matter.
You are succeeding. I see you putting stuff out on Twitter all the time. You know, people working on various projects right now. Give us a little breakdown of how many clients you've got in the agency and the sort of things they're working on. Are you primarily TV and film? Are you theatrical? How does all that work?
We've got about 90 clients, and sometimes, you know, people move abroad, people go out on tours for the year, and we may have to fill a gap. So it's, you know, I always describe us as a more boutique agency with the balls of a powerhouse.
Nice.
That's how because again, I think there's a danger. I think if you go too much down the boutique route, almost you can get overpowered if you've got someone who's got script writers, whatever, who's developing projects from the start. So, you know, I think you've still got to be able to compete, which I think is really important. You know, and that's kind of the way we've kind of done it. So most of our actors primarily, being honest, although I love theatre, I think it's a wonderful art. And I think in a world where technology is probably dominating everything, you know, it's nice to have a bit of, romanticism and naturalism about it where you can just go and switch off, which is cool. However, I think the business art to the TV side probably dominates. And most of our work tends to be in TV and film. Again, we have people who tour for Ken Wrights, you know, on the theatre side, or will do things with the RSC, which again is cool. And I love that. I think it's really important for actors to be balanced. But at the same time, if you get it right on the TV side, you can go and do any theatre that you want and become the name that sells the shows. So from a business side, you can really, you know, you can really utilize it.
Yeah.
And I think the exposure from the TV side ultimately is stronger than the theatre. And again, it's great, but your audience is small at the Royal Exchange on a Saturday night as it is primetime BBC One. So I think, you know, as the brand of the actor as well, which is something you have to consider, you know, TV, I think, is a great thing. And again, I think the way it's evolving as well with content, which I think is super important with Netflix, Amazon, Sky, etc. There's a lot more TV going out there. And personally, you know, I think I love the theatre process, but I think sometimes it's a little more closed. I find, starting from
I
Fresh.
agree with you. And this is, well, Petch, who's filming us today, he found this himself. He came to Manchester, loves theatre, wanted to break into the theatre scene, found it so difficult. It was almost like there was some kind of like steel iron kind of curtain around it. You couldn't penetrate.
Correct.
He ended up having to do his own show at the Manchester Fringe first in order to kind of
break it,
prove yourself, I guess. Have people, you know, look at you. I think TV it's still tough, but it's a little bit more forgiving, a bit more accepting of newcomers.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the way you can get people to see via TV, via showreels, it's easier to click a showreel link as opposed to travel to the Soho and watch it.
What would an actor need to do right now for you to be like, right, I am signing you today? Let's just start breaking all this down.
Well, there's two kind of components we kind of look for: the person, the human being, and the actor, and they've got to match.
Right. If you're an actor who had no representation right now, what are the exact, I want to know the exact steps you would take to ensure that you get rep in as quick a time as possible, and then what you would do to get that first TV credit? So there you go. You just saw a few clips from that podcast. Guy, what did we record there? Truth or what?
It was the truth, because as we were just alluding to, you know, this industry, there's a lot of bullshit. So I think, you know, as agents and as actors, you have to speak the truth at some point for people in order to progress, you know?
Total truth, no bullshit. If you want to listen to the bullshit-free podcast, www.actonthis.tv. Go check it out. It will be available right now. Get a premium membership if you've not got one. It's going to cost you 2 coffees a month, basically. Not that Social 7 coffee is expensive, just that coffee in general is expensive, and Acts on This membership is very, very cheap. So I want to give you some more value now. Guy. We're going to have a little chat now on something that I know screws a lot of actors up, and it's correspondence with agents. There'll be people watching this who don't have rep, who want to change rep, they want to reach out to agents like yourself, but they are shit scared of saying the wrong thing, therefore they say nothing. And that's the problem. So we're just going to go through step by step. When you receive emails from actors who want rep from you, firstly, how many a week are you getting?
Ooh, good question. Probably between 50, 60, something like that.
Wow, 50 or 60, right. So you're probably, well, I know you're not going to have time to respond to all of those. You might respond to 10% of them. What are you looking for in that email? What can they write in the subject? And basically, what would turn you on, so to speak, when you're reading these emails and seeing the stuff that they're sending from actors, and what really turns you off?
Sure. I think taking time to research the agency. So if someone's saying like, "Hi, John," and then instantly I'm like, well, that's just a cut and paste job. And I think, do you know what? If you can't be asked to even read or do your homework, then why should we give you the time? So I think, in terms of the subject header, I think if you can address it to a certain agent, that sometimes helps. Just grab the eye. If you can sometimes get hold of the agent's actual email address, with ourselves we have hello to sift that out. But if you can actually get hold of that sometimes helps, because then you're not going to get quite as lost, and sometimes you can get some great actors who can get lost, go into spam. So sometimes, we always say, listen, if you haven't heard in 2 weeks, presume it's unsuccessful. But again, just because we say that, it doesn't mean you're a bad actor. You can be very good, it's just you're not right for us at this moment in time. So, the people who are on a book now, it's completely varied with regards to how they've gone about it. So we've had some actors who've literally just sent, "I'm looking for a rep, here's my spotlight." Truth be told, to which there was nothing in that, but again, for me, it's about the product. So that was quite simple. I got straight to Spotlight. I had a watch of their show reel, I had a look at the CV, and thought, yeah, do you know what? That works for me. Sometimes, though, it is nice when someone's taken the time to put in a paragraph about what they've been up to. So if you've got strong credits, it's only going to help. So if we're an agent selling an actor for your next job, obviously we're going to talk about some of the work you've done. So if you can go about mentioning some of the things you've done that are great, that's cool, but also not to make it too long on the flip side. So yeah, verging into a page of A4. I mean, people do, but it takes a lot of time to start going through it, and then sometimes I reread, and so do the girls in the office. So I think be concise, stick it to a paragraph about the credits you've done or what you're looking to achieve. Try not to slag off your previous agent or your current agent, which is a big thing, and do you know what? It's something I look for. So I think, well, if they're being so derogatory about the representation they're currently with, I'm thinking, fuck that. Yeah, well, do you know what it is? And you think, well, yeah, I know leopards may be able to change their spots, but sometimes they don't. So I think, do you know what? I think you can still be respectful about your current agents and listen, it's just not working. They're great, but I'm looking for something else. Completely cool. And also a bit too much self-indulgence. So sometimes people be like, I might let you represent me. To which I'm like, what? I might not even be interested. So do you know what I mean? So I think there's that balance. I think you've got to be confident, but not too cocky. But at the same time, just make sure your footage is right, because that's essentially unless we're coming to see you in a show, that's what we're going off. Footage. People are going to be hung up now going, shit, I don't have the right footage. We mentioned in the podcast, and again, I'm not going to give you all of this on the vlog because I want you to go and listen to the podcast, but it doesn't have to be incredibly polished, highly produced, show real footage. Like I said to you in the podcast, I got my current agent, Jane, shout out to you, via some footage I'd shot in a class. So I was like, this looks like shit, but my ability is shining through. I'm proud of this scene. I'm going to send it to show you what I would do. And in a way, it was better than showreel footage because my prospective agent at the time, was seeing what I would be like in an audition environment, because this was filmed in a class that was filmed just like in an audition. So people don't need to get hung up on footage, do they? Not at all. So, and do you know what? It's difficult because with footage, you may, let's say, go and do an episode of Doctors or something like that. And it's not to slam Doctors, but the acting, the writing, is okay, the acting's okay. So sometimes you may have a really great actor who's using that footage that's made them look like an okay actor when they could be amazing. And again, there are some great actors in Doctors. But you know what? So I think it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be filmed on your iPhone. As long as we see you coming across, because again, from a CV, we're not getting nothing about your voice tone clarity. There's no charisma. So it does help us just bring it to life. You don't have to pay and go and get it done. I'm more than happy to watch iPhone footage. If you've done a clip of an episode or whatever, that's also cool. But there's no pressure for it to be high end. As long as I can see you, that's the most important thing.
Got to see you. Make sure you take the lens cap off, Petch. He's a good cameraman. He never leaves the lens cap on our camera. So yeah, I just want people not to get hung up on getting it wrong, because I think unless you're really doing, like, you're being an idiot and you have no common sense, it's probably freaking hard to get it so wrong, Guy, that you're going to be like, I'm never going to see you again. You've messed up so bad by sending me this email. You are on the blacklist now. I'm never going to see you again. So do reach out to people. Guy's social media's up now. Don't want to bombard you with that. Just going, Guy, rep me. But yeah, you know, do reach out if you think you've got something cool to offer. Write those emails. Ultimately, people just don't have anything to lose, Guy. The thing is, a lot of people watching will have already lost because they're not taking the action. So just sum up that for us in terms of, if there's somebody out there, and you're very much in the same mindset as me, who wants something. What did we say before on the podcast? Can you remember?
Well, do you know what? I'll summarise it actually with a brief story, because I know you've got places to go. So there was a guy who applied to us a couple of times, and he wasn't quite right for us at the time. But do you know what? He persisted. He kept going for it. We eventually took him on because, do you know what? I saw a different piece of footage that completely changed my mind. Because again, I've got to be open to, sometimes I can be wrong. You know, it is just an opinion. And now he is smashing it. He's doing a lot of TV. He's one of the most successful actors on the book. He's a wonderful person. But at first, being honest, we didn't quite think we could get him work to begin with. But I'll take that from our perspective. We're not always right. Any agents aren't always right. And again, just because they don't see it, then it doesn't mean they won't see it in the future.
Boom. There you go. So if you want it, you will find a way. It says all the time. If you don't, you will find an excuse. So stop making excuses and get some shit done. Guy, get back to the office. Thank you so much for being here. Go book all your clients loads of work. And Petch, we'll go and do some more updates, probably like in the heart of Media City. It's sunny today and it's October. Crazy. Summer has returned. Oh yeah, get into booths. Wouldn't be a vlog episode unless we were going to booths, Petch. So we've had our booths, and now we are having some dessert, some coffee and cake in Zifferblatt in Media City. Shout out to the Zifferblatters. Thank you for having us. We're currently in a shed, so we're coining this part of the vlog. Not balcony brews this week, but
shed brews.
So original. Right, got a few updates for you actually. Got like 3 or 4 updates maybe. First update is the format of this vlog moving forward. You will have noticed, if you are a regular viewer of WatchRoss, there was no vlog for the last 2 weeks. And that's because we have been creating motivational content like this instead. If you've recently been rejected, or you're currently going through rejection in or out of your career, here's a few examples of people who have also felt that physical, gut-wrenching punch to the stomach, yet have still managed to come out on top. First up, check this out. It's a rejection letter from a Mr. Jimmy Lenner, president of an American record label, rejecting Madonna on the basis she wasn't ready and that he didn't like her material. Less than 3 years later, everyone on the planet would know this material girl's name. And 30 years later, this woman is still a regular performer at the Grammys, selling millions and millions of albums worldwide.
First of all, you have to be really passionate about what you do and really believe in what you do, because there's going to be a lot of fights and battles and struggles along the way. So my best advice is to really believe and love what you do.
There you go, a little bit of motivational content. Put it out on Facebook, goes a little bit viral. People seem to like it. And that's because what we're doing, right, is for the vlog moving forward, it's going to all feed back into actsonthis.tv, the website that I run for actors. The reason we were interviewing Guy today was for actsonthis.tv. Basically, on that website, I sit down with really influential people in the acting industry, famous actors, writers, directors, agents, producers, everybody. Ask them how they've had success, ask them how other actors can emulate that success, and then we put it online for you lot to watch. So if you're an actor and you're not on actsonthis.tv yet, what are you, Petch?
Losing out.
Losing out. You're crazy. Go get your membership. So the vlog, we want to tie it in with actsonthis.tv. So you're going to be seeing on WatchRoss, basically, like you're seeing today, behind the scenes of all of these interviews. Now we're doing those once every 2 weeks. So on the week in between, we're going to give you that motivational content. So keep an eye on the Facebook page for Acts on This, which is facebook.com/actsonthistv for more. Phew. Right, update 1 out of the way. Update number 2 is you, Petch. Basically, I mean, all that content, motivational stuff, is to make people take action both in and out of their careers in all areas of their life. Petch, you have taken action over the last 2 weeks. Tell everybody what you've done and how scary it was.
I've grown this tash, and it's been very scary. I get some scary looks walking down the street. It's unbelievable. No, in all seriousness, I've taken a leaf out of your book. Sorry, getting told off again. Taken a leaf out of your book, and I've created a side hustle. I don't know, it's been weird. Like, I've been filming you for over a year now with WatchRoss. Never held a camera before in my life before WatchRoss. Never did any editing before WatchRoss. And now I found such a passion and a love for this, and I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. I think I'm pretty good at it. So I thought, well, instead of being stuck in a job, that I like it at the cinema. I mean, I get free films. I mean, what's not to like? Yep. But create money just working for myself, and so I've set up my own business, The Petch. I've got my own logo. You can see that here. I've, thanks to you, went out and bought a load of equipment. Thank you for coming along with me and putting me £1,100 in debt. I appreciate that. But again, that was a hang-up that I had up on money, and I learnt this doing another one of your ventures, BPA, Bulletproof Actor. It's just mindset, man, and plug. Yeah, I hated going into debt, hated having an overdraft, hated having a credit card. But I've rewired that in my own brain now to invest in yourself. And guys, if you've got anything out there that you want to do and you're scared of spending money, don't. Just think of it as an investment in yourself, because if you're not investing in yourself, you're losing out. Again, if you're not investing in actonthis.tv, you're not investing in yourself, so you're losing out. Like, plug. But seriously, these lessons I've learned just from being around you, Ross, and from Act On This and from Bulletproof Actor. And so yeah, I've set myself up this side hustle now. So if you need a videographer, give me a call. If you need somebody to edit some footage for you, give me a call. If you're lonely, just give me a call.
Just give him a call. I would put your mobile number up on screen, but I'm not going to. Yeah, honestly, like, find your side hustle. There will be something in your life you're passionate about, that you're good at, that people will pay you for, and you might be hung up and think they won't pay you, and why am I good enough to do that, etc. You're just limiting yourself with a load of bullshit in your head. Find the thing you are passionate about, you are good at, and people will pay you for, and you will never work another day in your life, and you can do it. Don't give me this nonsense. So that's update number 2. Well done to you, Petch. Update number 3 is Hop. Hop's not here with us this week because he's on a stag do in LA for a great friend of ours getting married, Mark Dharma.
Hey, this is Mark Dharma.
That was Mark Dharma, hugely influential guy in my life. Got me into positive psychology about 10 years ago. Thank you, Mark. Hope your wedding is going amazingly well. Your stag do is amazing, and hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Wish I could be there. Did get an invite, just couldn't actually go because I was filming a comedy for Sky, actually. Don't worry about it, Petch. You will be invited to my wedding. Update number 4. Final update of the vlog. It's where we're going to finish. I've created something that is valuable that I want you to claim, basically, guys. If you're an actor, again, we're feeding all this back into actonthis.tv. I created a document of 33 of the, like, I don't want to say the best, but 33 casting directors who you should be following on Twitter. They're not the only 33 casting directors on Twitter. They're just casting directors I see putting consistent value out on Twitter. And you should be interacting with them, and you should be following them and learning from them and adding value to their lives. If you want to get that list, all you've got to do is get on my SMS list. And basically, this is the list that I'm going to be sending text messages out on to people to keep them updated on what we're doing, what Act On This is doing, and ultimately giving you more value, as much value as I can. It doesn't cost you anything to join, bar a text message. All you need to do is text the word casting to 82228. That's the word casting to 82228. You'll get a message back asking for your name and email address, and then you'll get that document sent through to you. You go and look at it on the web, click on all the buttons on that page, and you'll be following those people within like a minute or so. Definitely get involved with Twitter. Social media is important. It's a hugely important part of your acting career. Getting your work seen and ultimately networking and, you know, making those connections that really do count. So casting 82228. So that's it for this week, mate. Interesting. Got any closing words, Petch?
Okay.
That's his Manuel impression. His moustache is amazing. I love it. We're going to be back in 2 weeks' time. Remember, we're going to put some motivational content out next week. That's on the Facebook page, facebook.com/@onthisTV. We'll be back the week after with episode 45 of WatchRoss. Don't know who the guest is going to be, but it's going to be behind the scenes of another great interview that you do not want to miss out on. So thank you very much for watching. Hope it's been valuable. We're going to finish off our cake. Until next time, Petch, you know what time it is. In 3, 2, 1. I'm counting up. In 3, 2, 1. Bye for now.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now. Special guest today, Mark Cook. Yeah, Mark, how are you enjoying yourself?
I'm really enjoying it, thank you.
And why are you in Media City today?
I'm going to go to the BBC and ITV afterwards.
And what are you seeing at ITV and BBC?
Look around the studios, at reception and that kind of thing. I'm going to try TV and all that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so you come at Media City a lot?
We do, don't we? Yeah, I do, yeah. I come here quite a lot, yeah, I do, yeah.
And what cake are you having now?
Is it carrot cake, John? Carrot cake.
Have some carrot cake. Awesome.